a damn thing anyway, so what is it? Why is it so dark? I understand it's dark in here. I understand it's dark in here. We'll get the vaporwave started in a moment here. We have time for like one Hanchan, maybe two. If y'all are good, we'll get two. But I need to understand what the hell happened with the camera here. Why is it like it's not even aiming at the right? There it goes. Nope, it's whoa. Did I break it when I was testing something else? Let's see what I can do here. Something like this, maybe? Oh my God. Color intensity. What does that even mean? What I should just go with the Yogi strat. Just, you know. Like make it just crazy. This actually doesn't look the worst. Are all these right to left? Are these right to left? They are. Their toggles are in reverse. Why? Why is that a thing? I don't know. We'll try this. Yeah. At least the computer didn't crash when we started our game. All right, so we only have literally. We need to get in queue. Well, we only have an hour. We have literally an hour and 20 minutes. So let's get the vaporwave going here. So let's get the vaporwave. Wow, I don't think I've heard of this one. Let's hear what this one is. Into the Ethos' sophomore new motion release is a melancholic blend of mesmerizing ambient textures and spaced out atmospheres. This is what we're listening to. Once I fix the volume, we will start. So we haven't played in a little bit. It's this week, so just to get, I had to burn the boats to get here. It's Dota 2 Ti. I've been stupidly busy. I'm feeling slightly better, but I'm still like not 100%. But I'm doing better than I was, so there was some recovery with that. It's just one every day has just been something else stupid happening, but mostly just really busy. And then the time that I have, just in between other things, I'm catching up on the International tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the morning. Inexplicably, they're running the losers bracket fight, like they're running all the finales. Oh, yeah, I'm just basically avoiding spoilers and stuff, and it's just I've not had a lot of time because I'm working on something, and then I have TI on the other half of my screen. The matches have been all right. Really excited about the final, and I'm glad to not have to. It's a little bit of a chore just because they crammed so many matches into the same thing. And I have some friends over there. Of course, they had a COVID outbreak. But it seems to be under control enough that at least everyone's going to be able to get home. But yeah, they had two people on the part of the event staff. They did not release who they were, but like keep in mind, there's probably like 2,000 people there working. Maybe not 2,000, but there's a whole production, like a TV production crew, all the casters and players, and by the time you add everybody up and the various people that come along with them, yeah, it's a lot of people. But just two. So, but everyone had to be vaxxed to be there. But they also decided to run this in Romania, which there's no crowd or anything. So I'm like, but they still need to get food and stuff in there. So it's there. People are like, well, they should have ran a bubble, and I'm like, you do understand how functionally that's not possible. you have people from all over the world. No, they're all vaxxed, so they all should be okay as far as I know. Capitalist had allegedly a flu. flu-like symptoms, but I mean, everybody's tested their daily. They're certainly doing their due diligence. Okay, this vapor memory is we might be. I want something that has more beat to it. Also, we're not winning this hand. I can already tell. How are we ever winning this hand? Well, we have to hit this Ryan Mon. We have to hit these two. Well, I'm just gonna throw this now. My sense is these 9s and these 1s. I mean, the weird thing is that the actual stream had made no mention of what was happening, so we're all kind of in the dark. We have friends over there, and it's kind of like, the issue is, wow, we can't actually. I don't want to. Well, I could reach this. Their hand is. Oh god. This person's clearly forcing a flush, right? So I'm trying to just get rid of all my Mon right now before they have that wonderful signal that they throw that one Mon tile. We haven't played in a week, so we might make crazy errors too. I'm willing to accept that right now. I gotta play, man. This person's like, wow, my Mon is being thrown. It's gotta be a lot harder to make a flush, right? Like when all your 4s, well, like half. Well, I guess not. There's only like if a bunch of 5s and 4s are gone, it's gotta be hard to make a flush, right? Yeah, he's gonna call that. Okay, so now they have potentially Shanta, which should be really bad. Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna reach. The problem is I don't have a Yaku without reach, and this hand is worth a bazillion points, so we have to just do it, and just what happens will happen. Chances are, if we deal in, it's going to be to a cheap hand. The person on our left, yeah, but I would want to think. Thank you. No. Whoosh. Oh, I gotta start the bot. The bot, hang on, you can't do commands yet. Okay, you can do commands now. My happy little Mangan. Nice try, Flushy. Nice try, Flushy Chanta. Half outside. I was watching your friend Masang and Timo. I feel I found the flow. Do we like this vaporwave, or should I change it to something more capitalist? There's another term I had for the flow. I forget what it was. Sometimes I call it in the ether. I missed the Jeepicus stream. I need the Jeepicus stream. Okay, we're just going to dump these and just push this hand forward. Like, what are we even doing here? This hand kind of just... This hand sucks. It's really bad. Nice. So the plan... Well, that's my wind, so we're just going to kind of set up to call anything, I guess. I think I have to call this, right? On that, whatever you call it, word. I suppose I should have cut the penchant, huh? Nice. Just focus on the basics. Strict push-fold rules. Strict. Yeah. So we need to find this other west tile. It might have been pretty crazy to call this, to be honest. There's 11 Dora, I have 3 of them. Like, this was a bad call. I think all of this was a bad idea, to be honest. I should have just held my hand till someone threw that west. This is sort of the poker aspect of things. Can I scare everybody else out of the hand enough that I'm there? They'll get crushed on that. Their dealer. paired west would suck too. Yeah, we really messed this up. We should not have advanced this hand so early. So we can get out of that now. Just cheap is free over here. I thought about that a lot and then threw the 8. I'm getting rid of this 1. I mean, should we actually find the other west? My dollar store Yaku. Actually, well, I'm never playing this pair, so we're just going to get rid of that now. Alright, well now we're actually 10 pi on a tile I just doubt I'm going to get, but maybe I will. At this point, with the number of Dora now missing, well, there's still a lot of Dora out there. But surely, like, if somebody wants... Somebody here has West. Or we just draw it. Okay, that's just brilliant. Time to die.
No.
Fucker. Just be cheap. Okay, cool. Thanks, dealer. Are you dealer? I had to stay in that, though. I mean, for the amount of points that was worth, I had to. And we got there. Dollar store Yaku. Problem is how are we... Shut up. How are we winning this hand, exactly? Like, I'm gonna have to pair one of those, right? But yeah, I think the biggest error that I made in that hand was playing... Yeah, we were only... I mean, we were so close to just getting the no 10 payment, too. Plus, somebody would have had just as difficult as a choice as we had. And I was pretty sure that no one had an... When I say sure, I mean the fact that they were not reach, like they would have had to have had a significant number of Dora to really get us, right? I can throw this now. They would have had to have a lot of Dora that we knew that was walled off with the 3-peen. So we had 3 of the 3 peens, so in order to play the 2s, they basically would have had trips of the 2s. So, not... That's a cost of doing business. Had we won that hand, we would have won another Mangan. And we're fine, so here we are. Is this Pinfu? It is. We're 1 away on Pinfu. Well, we have to hit this. Not, oh, no. I'm gonna cut the... So I'm gonna cut this. Because I don't want to wait on the 5. We just don't want to wait on the 5. If I'm going to wait on something stupid, it's going to be... God damn it. Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I asked him. I don't see his number. Uh-oh. This, I don't have an interest in continuing to play. I have plenty of safe tiles. We're just going to run away here. Funny story, though, like, we now know their hand, unless they draw Ura, is worthless. Done. Bye-bye. Good times. Good times. No! No! Is it Noyaku? I have to. It's worth too much. It's worth too much, man. Alright. That worked. I can't do anything about that. At least I didn't deal him in. I'm still second. I'm good. And this guy lost more points too, so. Cutthroat today, man. Jeepicus. I love... Koya made such a fantastic emote. I thank him so much. So I got 6, 7, 8 with an 8, 9, so the 9 is kind of pointless. No, I'm not chasing all simples with nothing. What are we even doing? And I guess the pair's better than... The nice thing about 159 is any hit in Pinzu would help. Problem is, I've already got a lot of other things going on. Okay. This hand's really bad. If we get a good weight, we'll reach it. If we get Reachy Pinfu, hopefully with a Dora. But I don't know how we're going to make a Dora work in this hand, because we got the 2-9. Like, 7-8-9 is not going to... There's no all simples here. We just throw the 9s now. 6, 7, 8. The problem with the 7 here is it shares acceptance with the 4, 5. It's like, okay, we hit a 6. Great. That's something. I'm gonna just toss these 5s. Oh, I'm so dumb. We could have been Tanyao, although this has a hit that's not Tanyao. That's what I was looking at. I'm like, well, I can't call or really do anything with that. Well, the deed has been done. We would have actually hit the 7, 8, 9. I'm gonna throw this now. We're probably... The issue with the reach... So right now, so we'd have 1 Han for this. See, had I kept the Tanyao... The problem is none of this is, Oh boy. So like, yeah, it would have been really nice to have that. People might start thinking that that 7 is safe, though, because of the number. How much elevation is there really to the hand by doing this? I'm going to let them chase. I think it's going to be very hard for someone to make that 7 work unless they have trip 7s. Because the half, like, all the 8s are now gone, and all of the 5s, but 1 are gone, and I have most of the 6s. And so this guy's going to try to force a flush. Let's just throw Dora. Oh, God. So I'm going to throw a hot Pinzu at you. And it helps that on the flush situation that they're across from me, so that, like, until they're Tenpai, they can't call my tiles for chi. Alright, so person on my right might be done, because they've now thrown Dora after the other guy made it safe. They might also be Tenpai across from me, too. This could end up very bad. But I just think it's going to be hard for someone to play the 7. I normally wouldn't go on a 1-tiler. But I really would have been a lot happier with... I should have kept the pair of 5s over the 9s. Like, I don't know why I just said no to Tanyao. Just way too defensive. No. Alright, cool. That works. Wait, they were Dama. Wow, what an asshole. Well, I'm now 3rd. Okay, why are we Damaing? Oh boy, they're a luck box. So, okay. Actually gonna throw this. Yes, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'd quit too. Oh, you should have just quit. I would have appreciated that. Suddenly, through no fault of our own, we're losing positions. We're going to throw the south. I'm not... Yeah, I mean, they don't have a lot of games, right? And their name is not Holding Aces or whatever. But they surely don't have a lot of games played. So, and their record kind of says maybe they are. We're pretty on the Tanyo route here. And there's 3 live Dora here, so we should just chase the Yaku that we could make, which is Tanyo. Which is not that. This person's not really helping me. Okay, that's a little bit more helpful. Oh good, they finally lost. Iowa loses to Purdue. Which is a shocker, even though we knew Iowa was not very good. Okay. Am gonna need, like, if I get a 4 here, we're definitely calling the 4. Yeah, Iowa somehow crept up to number 2 by whatever. However, we're doing college rankings these days. Just handing out trophies left and right. I'm gonna throw this 8. We got our pair. We just need to call, like, we need something in Mon. Unfortunately, Mon is really expensive on our left. I kind of want that to be my pair, so we're just gonna cut that now. Okay, so they made their stupid thing. I have 2 Dora. There's 4 more Dora out there. Wow, what a great hand. I think we're done with this hand. I should have thrown the 2 first. Dollar Store Yaku. What else do we have that's safe? The 6. It's really just the 6. We're probably just going to try to pilot this to a safe finish. I can't use the 1. They may have folded on my right. 1 call does get us there. The problem is there's no, like, safety, right? Like, 5 is just half Suji. Like, that's... I'd rather run away like a scalded dog. Had I not passed, I would have not received a free save tile that gets us to basically the end here. For the 6. Question is, what are we throwing next? I don't really have a lot of choices, do I? Decide quickly. I hope it's not the 2. Thank you. That gets us home. No. Oh! Busted, dealer! Give me my second place back. Oh, God. What a terrible hand. But thank you. Thank you for hitting them for exactly the right number. This is like Jade Room stuff, man. What is happening? It's like Jade Room silliness. 3, 4, 5. Look at this. This is beautiful. I am dealer? This is beautiful. Oh my goodness. I need a new pair of pants. Oh my goodness. Come on, give me that 6. Let me reach for the Tonki White Dragon. Hit me. Oh! Oh! I got screwed on one of these the other day, like a week and a half ago or whatever. Remember, we was like, oh, we'll throw the green dragon right now because it's honestly the best tile I have. Yes, it's Dora. Just get dealt this. Oh! Whoosh! Well, why even do the other 5 hands of this don't matter. Just give me Dealer Hanuman. Wow. 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 Just draw the nuts, man. That's all you ever needed to do. So, the 7. The 7, and then that 1-2 in Sozu is pretty bad, just because the 4-5. It's really, it only can ever make a Ryanmon. We are going to throw excess tiles, though, before we throw that. So in this type of shape, I think the right call is the basic, because everything is basically connected, so breaking up anything kind of hurts. So now we cut probably the weakest thing, which would be this. Yes, there's Sanshoku, but yeah, why do you even? Well, if you didn't know how to count the score, you might have tried to win on that 9. Like if you really needed to win that hand, maybe that 9 flows a little bit. Yeah, easy clap. And I don't pay Frank or Face C to be able to have the. I know exactly what it's exactly what that was. That was an easy clap. I saw that twin-tailed Nami virus. They're up in the gold room now. It's a sign you play way too much. So now it's sort of around this stage of the hand we have to start considering, well, do we call anything? Let's go into the moon. Yeah, let's just keep drawing those, wish you would step back from that Ricci stick. You could cut ties, something. Chase me, big boys. So why did we reach this? A, we're dealer. B, we already threw the 6 Pinzu, which means that the 3 is a Suji trap. Let's see if I can find some luxury elite to take us home. This is one of my favorites of them. I'd play St. Pepsi, but St. Pepsi's like super sampled off of like songs that'll get us flagged. Oh boy. Look at this little Sozu farm. We could have just like made a flush. Oh no. 3 left. I'm surprised that no one's thrown it. Just with what I mean, I'm not a master of this, but just like look, all the 1s are getting thrown. We had a 4 thrown. We had 2s thrown. We had 2 2s thrown. 2 called. So maybe someone's just got trips or got a run of them. Either way, I think it's either going to be a cheap payout or the hand's just gonna go to exhaust. Ah, so left definitely gave up the hand. Because they paused there and then they looked, oh, it's a 6 save. Oh! Uh-oh! Did we delete them? We did not delete them without a reaching. That's what they get for chasing, though. They didn't need to chase that. Maybe they did. Maybe they had a good hand. I don't know. Just on your deal, Jeepicus. Just have this happen. Just get dealt the nuts. If we didn't score that 18k, we would still be in the second place. Hey, Holdu. I guess I'm hanging on to that. Maybe I shouldn't have thrown the pair. I think this hand's... This is probably the hand we end up not keeping our deal. Like, what are we even doing here? Okay, I'm listening. Phone 1. I'm gonna hang on to the Yakuhai just for sort of safety reasons. And we could pair it. It is slowing our hand down by keeping it though. But it was a loose 7 or that basically. We also need a pair. Fails. What is this person on my left doing? Are they just going for orphans? They've only thrown middle tiles. They've literally only thrown middle tiles. We need to be careful of what this person's doing. They're unlikely to get it, but kind of the only way we, like, lose at this game would be some kind of I'm just gonna throw this now. They have thrown a 1 though. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. But they certainly can't go out on it. This 1 is probably safe. Throwing Dora across. Just getting out of this now. Okay, now they've thrown enough that I don't think they're 13 orphans anymore. We used to never check for that. And I'm not even sure you need to check for that. It's going to be very difficult to win this hand, though. We got 2s missing, we got 5s missing, all the 8s are now missing. Am I just done with this hand? They're not a flush, they're just all pawns over here. They're just all pawns. Yeah, I'm just going to throw this. Throw the 7 next turn. I'm kind of just eyeing. I think they're the closest hand to completion. We're never going to finish this 3-4. And I'm not really... Well, I guess I am comfortable throwing it. You know, I'm going to throw it. So why are we comfortable throwing this 4? Well, if they're all pawns, I'm holding 1, 2 of them are gone. So unless it's their pair, there's really... And they would probably change it if it was their Tonki weight. So we're just going to get rid of it now. Now, we wouldn't throw this 9, because that's way too convenient. They'd have to have the other 2, though. 1 is just toast. I don't really think, however we slice this hand, we were going to get a... Maybe we could have forced 10 pie with a little bit more danger. But I really don't care about passing my deal, even if I pay 3k. Just I don't want to get hit. So I have enough safe tiles to get to the end. And we're not going to get 10 pie, so we're not even going to bother. Bye-bye. So what'd you have, buddy? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I had all your tiles. I had all your tiles, buddy. They're going to have to make some moves, though. This game is going to get weird. If we don't have time for another Hanshan, what are we going to do? Are we going to play Sate Hakun? The balloon game? The balloon puzzle game? I blame Yogi for making me play that game. It looked like a really cool puzzle game, and it is a really cool puzzle game. Also, we should have thrown East for the North. I forgot it's South round now. Just get dealt 18k. Have it. But now that we're in South round, I mean, just considering the point situation, we just kind of take every hand as it is, but just bearing in mind that something like second place is virtually guaranteed at this point. Something really awful would have to happen multiple times for us to not be in first anymore. So we certainly aren't going to do silly things like folding from the outset, but we're just going to be aware. Do we just flush? How many blocks do I actually have? I have 1, 2, 3. And I have to find 2 more blocks on some loose tiles. I don't think that's going to work. Tempting, but I don't think it's going to work. If I draw like a 6-7 though, if I draw into something a little bit better. Oh boy. It doesn't really help. Not sure that 7 helps. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here. I figured that the 8 is bad. Really? I mean, we're close, to be honest. Okay, we're nowhere. You're absolutely nowhere. That's a good place to start the folding. Like, to me, like, this is between the dealer and perfect. We're even further ahead, and then the clock moves. Oh man! Wow, they got dealt a monster. It could have almost been Hanuman too. It would have been Hanuman if it had a. Well, they needed a Dora. Huh, they also got my bonus points. Because we passed on a exhaust. There were 900 bonus points in the hand, so I got 8,900. This is call up Sabu. Call up Sabu. We're playing this hand as 7 pairs. It's safer. And if it makes a hand, it makes a hand. If it doesn't, I'm good. This dealer would have to go on a serious tear. And I'm good. This West and Green Dragon are probably toast, though. I'm definitely playing like playing for, well, maybe we're playing for something else now. We'll see. Hey Asper. Well, the problem is my dollar store Yaku is not available if I call that. So we're seeing our options fade here. Let me get out of this. Mostly okay, Asper. It's been a really busy week. I've been watching the International. At least we know those tiles are safe now. Well, mostly safe. Safer. You know, pawn would have been stuck with 7s and trying to pair something, which may include a Dora. Getting excited, wrestling is starting in not too long from now. Solo multi-world. We might need to make that happen. How many games am I playing at once if I do that? How many games? Oh, hang on. We need to not die. You know what you don't have is East. What number would make the most sense? Okay, so they're not waiting on the 1. It'd be the greatest Tonki wait of a lifetime. Yes! Yes! I always wanted to play the, not Dungeons and Dragons. They had a Mario where you had to play all 4 Mario games at the same time. And I thought that was quite novel and silly. We need to help me make that happen. Not right now. We're doing a big charity event in like 3 weeks. That's probably too long to make part of the charity event. But don't tell me, you can't say I'm not tempted. Oh no, it already exists. The Mario thing already exists. I guess we're throwing the damn 5, because I'm certainly not dealing into your ass. So when you said it exists for that, then I'm like, well, now I'm like even more interested, right? You threw this a couple turns ago, so I'm going to assume it's safe. It's certainly safe to this guy and this guy. I don't know what the person across from me is doing. They kind of need to make a hand, too. Otherwise, they're going to lose. Cool. Bye-bye. Wow, that guy thought real hard about taking that 5. Yeah, BizHawk it's a nice Tazzing emulator, but it's not very fun to play. I've always had a lot of issues with it. Always had a lot of issues with it. Like, I swear its timing is wrong. Like, if you're going frame by frame in a task, I don't think it matters, right? But individually on, like, a thing... No. Wow, they weren't even 10... Oh, yeah, they were 10 pi. Okay, so I don't think we could have played the hand because of the 2 and 5. I think we had a 2 in hand. Alright, cool. The deal shifts and we're still winning. And their 1,000 points are in the middle. But hopefully BizHawk's gotten better. I don't know. Because BizHawk has the scripting, right? Oh no, we don't force. You're not allowed to force anything. Hell no. Can't force anything. The only shame here is that we're going through South Round right now, and we're probably not going to have enough time before wrestling to play another Hanchan. But I can continue to brag that the win streak... We've not had anything but a 1st or 2nd place in the last 2 weeks I played mahjong. BK mode? What's BK mode? Is it have it your way mode? Because if that's not what it is, that is what it should be. You even get sent in the mail like one of those Burger King crowns. Have it your way. But yeah, I have to do a whole bunch of writing because we have the Extra Life big stream. I'll remind everyone in the coming weeks, I'm sure, more about it. Ah. I like the planning though. I want to like think all my things out. But yeah, I completely understand that for sure. True. So if we get the 7, we're kind of in a Pinfu hand. I'm not even sure what we're doing, but I'm going to throw this Penchan away because at least this is better. I'm holding on to this way too long because there's basically a 7-9 in here. But yeah, it's worth more points. It's also really, really slow. But yeah, we do the extra live stream over at Basement Con, which I think you actually stopped in on last year. I have a whole bunch of writing and stuff to do in the next coming weeks, as well as like make a studio, because the studio has been like when you say realistic time, we're just gonna throw away this Penchan now. or Kanchan, whatever. I'm throwing this away. I'm upgrading myself to 3 Ryan Mons. I guess the issue now is I've thrown my pair away. Well, guess what? I have another pair now. As much as I would like to complete a hand, the game is telling me no, you're not going to complete any more hands right now. This could be bad. So we look at our person on our left here, they've thrown no, well, they have thrown 2, they've thrown the pair and Sozu. Can you adjust it during the game, how much time it is? I guess it's functionally the same as a button. The Mario one, I think, had a random amount of time. But maybe it wasn't random. I also, maybe, you know what? Maybe for the extra live stream, I need to get someone on board to play the Donkey Kong randomizer that the person who wrote it hates. And I'm like, but it sounds like you made something that sounds like fun that I could perform in some way in front of others. But I guess I probably should play it a couple times to like know how impossible it is. Okay, we're running away from this hand entirely. I guess the 2 can go first, then the 5. Wow, this guy just straight up through the damn 5. What is the reach on the 2? Dollar Store Yaku, let's go. I should have reached. Maybe I shouldn't have reached. No, I want to be able to get away from this. Like, winning harder doesn't really do me any good. I want to be in a position to make a decision. Like here, I probably don't want to be in this hand anymore. Is the 2 at all safe? I don't think the 2's safe, so I'm just throwing the damn 5. Yeah, I didn't know what to make of that comment that they made, that they're not going to have that anymore. I didn't know what to make of that. 6-9. It was a corner, it just was the wrong corner. But that works for me. I mean, I could have gained a lot of points, I could have knocked them out of the game, but I also could have lost 8k, and this would have been a game. Now we're in the final hand, and all I have to do is let someone else win. Just throwing the door right now. See ya. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, I could have sworn that certain things at the dollar store were already higher than $1. But considering that, like, getting a container crate into the US is impossible now because of capitalism, and capitalism doesn't scale well when there's not an incentive to bring in more stuff, right? I mean, the incentive is we can charge, you know, there aren't enough workers, we don't want to pay the workers anymore, because if the cost of goods go up, people will buy less of it. Like, when you do all the analytics, it basically spits out, well, we're just fine delivering what we're delivering. We certainly don't need to deliver more goods at a higher cost to us. Oh dear. Hey, Biba, you've caught we're gonna find something to do for the next half hour, and I'm telling you, it's not Darkest Dungeon. Maybe we will read my scathing review. In fact, spoiler alert. I'm going to tell you what my review of Darkest Dungeon and what I think of it, because Steam asked me. They asked me straight up. They said, you played the game again, I guess. Or was it, you've played the game now so many hours. Would you like to revise your review? And I said, so I went back and I reread my old review and I went, oh hell no. Apparently I was smarter back then, and I wrote some really good things that I think are absolutely, let's just say, since I've already spoiled that it is the only negative review I have ever written. Like, not in like a half funny way or like what they could have done better. Like, it is straight up a negative review warning you of all the things you're getting into. We will read it. We will read it. We will read it. We just throw the damn 5. Like, what are we even doing here? Do I need this one? Screw it. Throw the 5. Oh, it's great, Biba. I had to actually put in. So what I put in, I did not edit my old review because it's too good, and I don't want to mess with, you know, biologically 6 years ago me or whatever, who was absolutely right in everything that they said. I'm pretty sure. Because I've played the game since, and the game is now worse. Somehow the game is worse. And they said, you only have 1,000 character limit. I said, screw that. I'm going to add 2 comments. I went to a character editor, and I counted how many characters, and then I did like one of those Twitter posts where you post everything in reverse order. Oh my god. It is the most amazing. We're going to read that review up next. Wow, just hot Dora nights. I don't have a need to play this hand, so like this guy would have to have dollar store Yakuman. I guess we're throwing that next. Huh, I'm not conning shit. Get out of here. No way. There's the 4. Oh yeah, those cash runs. So I was playing a little bit because I was watching the International, and just the game runs in a small window. So I've now downloaded a bunch of mods that make the game, when I say tolerable, is it? They threw the 8 a long time ago. They're not north. Let's just throw the damn north. This 9 is probably safe. Okay, well we bought the tiles we needed. It's not even the stress thing. It's you catch. There's so many dumb. So let's preface this. Let's get this win before we go completely down on this stream. Let's get this win. This poor guy. Didn't they deal into that 18k hand? Or they dealt into somebody else. They would have been out of the game. There we go. Nice 116 rating points. That is one of the things. That is one of the things. I didn't even get into every last thing. I just, at the time, whatever was pissing me off the most. Is there an Iggy win? No, it's Iggy, it's just win. There you go. Alright. How do we pull up the review? So, unfortunately I don't have time to do another Hanchan, but there you go. We gained 116 rating points on the day. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't add that to commands. I should add it to commands. That's just the other commands. I just figured win. It's like win, run. No, sumo doesn't do that. Sumo should actually do both, huh? At any rate, let's see if I can pull this up. Let's pull up the review. Because unfortunately, like I said, we don't have time. You've played an additional 50 hours. Would you like to revise your review? No, we already did that. How do I make... I gotta find my review.
There is a great horror.
No.
The manor.
Shut up. 11 people found this review. Okay. This review... Okay, here we go. I think I got it. It's just I have a bazillion browser tabs. No Office stuff open, so let's just add a window cap. Hey, you're smart. You're real smart. All right, so let's get this going here. No, I don't even know where to begin. How do we zoom in on the? All right, here we go. Now, see, when I say not recommended, we need to get my face back on the screen, please. My beautiful face is better than their icon. All right, here we go. Well, we need to make this a chapter. Oh boy, this is its own episode. Darkest Dungeon review of the review. Hopefully that'll mark it in the. So I'm just gonna, because I think the VOD splits it into chapters now. At any rate, but let's go over this. So this was originally written 24 October 2015. It was updated after they made some adjustments to the game because it wasn't in beta anymore. But like, hopefully y'all can read this. So here we go. 11 people found this review helpful, and 4 of them found it funny. So here we go. In my own words. Heavily RNG-based game. It's not a roguelike, of course it's not. And it's more frustrating than fun. There is very little editability to heroes. You can upgrade their abilities, but all this does is lower the RNG essentially. They hit more frequently and do more damage, or heal more, apply an effect more often. Because of this, there is an illusion of customizability, but it's guised in the idea that a level 0 hero is different than a level 1 hero. They're not. The really not fun part about this game is that skillful play is not rewarded, and the signal to the player that what they're doing is effective or not is clouded by a serious roll of the dice in every fight. Every fight you risk one member in your party screwing over everyone else. In every fight, if the AI all decide to screw over your one key person, they die. All it takes is one unlucky critical roll. Crits do 3x... Oh, they do 3x damage? I forgot about that. Note, that's unavoidable. And that's the real problem. Anytime someone dies, you're punished for it. We're still on screen, right? Let's just scroll here. That's the real problem. Anytime someone dies, you're punished for it. It costs around 5 to 6 missions in gold rewards just to fully upgrade / unlock the key things you want a hero to have. So one small error, possibly one you have absolutely no idea exists yet, is punished to the maximum. I find this incredibly poor game design. The game would be significantly more fun if characters were injured. Injured as in, they get knocked out for so many weeks. Why isn't that even just an option? Because farming like for 8 hours isn't fun. I thought about editing that, but I'm like, this is too good and too old for me to edit that. I was out of characters, so that was probably why it was cut. Even more troubling is that killing hours of your time in a hero. How about those trinkets you equip that are vital as you move onward through the game? Well, if you get wiped or have to run from combat, you lose everything that was dropped as people die, or you simply don't have inventory space to hold them. Here is the massive kicker, though. The poorest feature of this game's design is the lack of rewarding good risk-taking. This is very true. If you go into a harder dungeon, going to a harder dungeon results in you not having enough inventory space to carry back the loot, or the dungeon rewarding about the same amount of loot as something that's easy. That's a huge failing of this game. The carrot and stick of why you're even going to harder areas has no logic behind it. And by doing so, you're typically beat over the head. Hardcore style games like this in the past always reward the player appropriately for taking risks and succeeding. All you end up with here is an inventory full of loot faster. I really want to like this game, but I'm a stickler for good game design. I'm a huge fan of Zangban, Angband, and actual roguelike titles. Hence, like, those games are quite hard and difficult. It irritates me when developers slap the roguelike title on firstly a game that is not actually a roguelike, and then use permadeath as a means to feign difficulty when the difficulty is that all of the game's mechanics remove skill, and your only real strategy is to move the goalposts of high-low RNG enough away from people dying so you can progress. But there's always a chance of just losing everything. It's bad design and shouldn't be given the acclaim it is getting. Damn. I greatly enjoy massively difficult games. XCOM is a difficult game, both new and old. You can wipe and lose in a fight, but there is a wide variety of what skillful play can achieve over non-skillful play, and that is what Darkest Dungeon massively lacks. Grinding back for hours to retry the dungeon boss that has a mechanic you simply must bring certain protection strategy or units for, that's just idiotic manufactured difficulty. Man, I was hot that day. If you play this game, I highly recommend save scumming. If you could restart your hour-long dungeon that ends in failure, I'd take away my negative review. I really like the idea of permadeath, though. It's just the execution of it that's flawed. Sorry, I didn't go all the way down there. That was the end of it. So, I'm not just farming for likes here, but I know I'm right. So we needed to post more. By the way, like, the music and theming of the game, like, there's a lot of good things that this game has, and it's always a shame to me. Like, to me right now, it's like FTL. It's like a fun little flash game I can play on the side. Yeah. If I need to have 20 wiki pages open to enjoy your game, because if I use the wrong item on a sconce or something, I'm just dead and screwed in that entire dungeon. But it's just... If you remember Rogue Legacy had a very basic concept, and it basically ruined the roguelite. I don't even want to say that word. It makes me feel grimy in my teeth. But the roguelite, really, I just want to call it indie action games that have RNG elements. Maybe that's what we need to call them. But at any rate, if you ever played Rogue Legacy, you basically have an upgradable thing in your town. You sent, like, it's like Castlevania, Metroidvania style. You run around a dungeon and you explore, find things, and what you collect. You basically die and come back stronger each time. That's exactly what this game does. It's just, why is it, like, think Final Fantasy Tactics. The most fun part of Final Fantasy Tactics is managing your team and then going into the fight knowing kind of what you need to be able to work against. The game doesn't tell you what you're going to be up against. I had to install like 3 mods just to have it in front of me, like, oh, going to this area, it's always, you want to have bleed damage and bleed protection or whatever. You should always bring this much food. Like, there's so many just basic rules because it's all random, right? You can't bring 40 shovels if there's going to be 40 of those stupid things blocking your path. So you just bring like a little bit more than a reasonable number of everything. It's the same thing every time. Why can't you save that loadout and just click a button that says, give me the loadout for the coves, medium length? Can't do that. What if I want to find all of my heroes that have Warren's Explorer when I go to the Warrens, so I have those nice bonuses? I have one dude I rolled at the beginning that has Warren's Explorer and Warren's Adventure or whatever, so he has the damage bonus and whatever the other stress bonus or whatever. Yeah. Try to find him in a list of 28 heroes when you can't even mouse over. So like I play Football Manager and stuff. There's a spreadsheet manager in that game where I can click drag, I can change the columns of what's visible, I can flag people so when I roll over them it tells me who they are, even when they've 10 years down the road in the game, when they've moved on to other teams. Like, isn't that somebody I fired a long ago and I know that their hidden stat is they suck at corners or something? Like, so much micro detail can just be taken from UI design, and it's just not a chore. The game is such a chore. So this is what I wrote today, which is maybe a bit of frustration, but I felt I had to at least clarify some things. It's probably just me vamping on this more, but Steam gave me this opportunity. So that original review I can never improve upon, and it is the best thing I may have ever written as far as a review. At any rate, after revisiting this game since writing the review, the game is even worse now because they made changes. Even worse even now with the various changes made to it. And then they basically added additional, like, there's way more quirks and things now. There's additional bosses. There's new areas. They added all these other things about now you need to track a million more things with the same UI that they never improved. So now it's even more grinding, even more gotcha tricks. Farm a hero to level 5 to then learn a new enemy exists. You lose some heroes. Congrats, you get to farm 8 more hours just to try again. I have no idea why people like this game. The UI UX is horrifically designed. As you play, you'll naturally wish to remember party compositions, trinket combinations, etc. There is literally no support in the game to remove any of the absolutely endless, tedious tasks you must do. Mods made the game slightly more tolerable, but it's another signal of how bad this game is. In your hours of farming, it's all tedium. The game can't even show you a spreadsheet roster or tag heroes for roles. You can never at a glance your entire roster or manage them. You need to individually click every last one to view their quirks and what they have equipped and things. And I think I have some cut off here. Let's see if I can scroll this up. So, and I go on. Let's have a quirk system that allows you to gain an edge in specific regions of the map, but require you to manually select every single hero to remind you who has what abilities. Because you have 28 of them. Great games let you handle the macro by being able to easily track the micro. That's micromanagement versus the macro management. The macro management in the game, of course, is where you got to build your party and go, but there's a lot of minutia into like min-maxing your party and reducing that bad RNG, right? So it's like, do I want to spend an hour, or do I want to watch my international and just have fun while I'm just kind of watching that and only kind of half playing the game? So this game is all about min-maxing everything, but it's endlessly more painful than way better games that let you manage leaders with 60 attributes, such as Shadow Empire, which we've never actually played on stream. That game is absolutely amazing. It's Civilization plus Panzer Corps plus It's the best war game you've ever played, mixed with the best 4X you've ever played. And sorry, Civilization's not the best 4X you probably. Well, it shouldn't be the best 4X you've ever played, I hope. But most people know what that is. In practice, still nothing in this game works. I want to like this game so much, but go play XCOM or something. This is still an absolute mess. Shadow Empire, get it on sale, but it's I want to say it's from Slytherin Studios, but I'm just going to show you a link to show you what it is. Since we're just jamming here for the next few minutes. Oh, will it just let me like put this in the thing? Am I allowed to just do this? It's currently on sale on GOG, but like I got it for 20 bucks when it came out. And I was very happy to support the guy. I think it's Slytherin. But I want to say it's just a few dudes. This works? Here we go. Can we make this smaller? We'll fix this. Hang on, I'm fixing it. So this game it's a 4X. It's similar to Civ. It's not Civ. But I just want to show you some screenshots and I'll explain what the hell's going on in this game. Is there a video? Alright, so first off, this game has planet generation. And, like in Civ, how you could, like, determine, hey, I want to make, you know, the nice world or whatever. Like, how the cool things you can do in Civ, this game's even crazier. Like, how Civ had, like Alpha Centauri, if you've never played Sid Meier's Alien Crossfire, Alpha Centauri, like the original, there's mods out there to make it run in a window and have a whole bunch of cool stuff. I still need to continue that game that I started in it. That game is amazing. That might be the best Sid Meier Civilization-based game I've ever played. But take that idea of pretend you're playing Civ where the world can be toxic and everybody has to have hazmat suits or whatever. There's no oxygen. There's no water. The world can be incredibly harsh. It can also be very habitable. You can roll, like, the game is incredibly difficult if you make hard worlds. But basically the generator that generate, like, I've seen it generate all kinds of crazy worlds, and of course you have choices of sizes and all kinds of crazy things. So yeah, and you get to choose different types of history. Like it basically rolls. I have no idea why the camera is so out of focus. Hello. RimWorld is like Dwarf Fortress, but like you're managing colonists. This is more like Civ. But yeah, Ridley was going to tell me whether or not I should buy and play RimWorld. And I'm like, should I just play Dwarf Fortress? By the way, I need to move this capture down so like y'all can see chat. Oops. Okay. So the planet actually simulates an entire history of the planet. And it's just like Civ. There's going to be other AIs. It can be other players too. But that's one thing this might not have is I've not actually tried to play against other people. Like the AI will kill you. Like it's not like Civ. Like the AI is not cheating. You can make them cheat, but the AI is not cheating, and the AI is going. That's. I think that's on the menu. So, all right, so you get into the game, and one of the things that it has is there's basically different types. Maybe I should launch the game. Would that help? We got 15 minutes. I remember it having capture issues because I like forced it to run in a window. Well, we'll see where this goes. If I have more pictures, that'll help. But so you basically get stratagem cards, and you may have seen this in other types of 4X games. But basically, you have, like, if we were playing over the board, you have a handful of cards, and you have to spend different resources. Like there's like government points and stuff. Like you see on the cards that there's little symbols here. Like there's these sun symbols. I forget what they're called, but they're like the most expensive resource you have. You basically get an immediate effect. Like you might be able to start diplomacy with somebody else or force them into some type of treaty. You might be able to just generate a bunch of resources or money that are hard to get. Like in some worlds, getting oil is impossible, or getting steel is impossible. It's just, like if you can't find a good mine, but you want to start the game with an additional 400 steel so you can build a unit that helps you get there faster or something. That's like, these are all immediate effect stuff, and you basically are choosing to spend resources to get them. And some of them are very, very, very good, obviously. What else we got here? All right, so this is what the game map looks like. So it looks like a hex grid war game. So every one of these stacks of troops, they show up down here, and it is way like how I always complain about, why does Civ stick to the stupid idea that only one unit needs to sit on a thing? How about just put in a real combat model? We'll get to the combat model, but like all of these stats, one unit. This is just the commander. The commanders, every leader has like 60 stats associated with them. They get better at stuff. And so like, some of them are bureaucratic, some of them are like military, some of them run your cities. You can basically assign them as you need, and you also have to appease them, because they all follow different religions and different, like, some are capitalist, some are communist, whatever the game calls them. You have to appease them because you can really piss them off and they might turn on you. So you have to sometimes make decisions about, do I want my economy to thrive, but these people are risk running away from me? There's research too that changes all this. But anyway, so you have these different dudes, and you see like I got line troops here. There's like 600 of them. You have to make all the equipment when you make them, and it's just like when you recruit a unit in like Civ or whatever. It's just recruiting units doesn't. You have to get all the resources and people, but basically all the people are on standby and the resources are on standby. So once you have the resources, they're, as far as I know, they're built immediately. But you can make a massive stack of units. Now here's the catch. Let's see if we have a picture of what the supply lines look like. This is like the world map. Oh, this tells you about the planet data. So like the planet actually, like they figure out the gravity. Like I said, it figures out rainfall and everything else, whether there's a breathable atmosphere and stuff. Really cool. So here's your cabinet. The game. So here we talked about micromanaging. The game gives you a calculation based on what you're about to assign them, because you have to assign people to individual parts of research, individual like cabinets of like your military, your economic function, your factories, your manufacturing, your supply stuff. It tells you when you assign someone how suitable they are for the role. Now they can grow into that role and gain stats, and you might have to look at how good someone is at basically, it's sort of like the youngster's idea in like Football Manager or something. Certain people are more akin to getting better at certain things and have the capacity to get better at other things, whereas some are just going to only be good at certain things. But like this guy's got 64 suitability, like, and you also get like events every day too. So like this guy's gonna get really pissed off if you don't pay him off. You can choose to pay him off, and here's what his current stat is. You can boost it, or you can choose to not pay him and tick him off. Some of them are more complicated than that, but that's the most basic one. So like, here's an immediate improvement of Darkest Dungeon. Like, you can have like 60 leaders in this game. At no point in Darkest Dungeons did it say this guy is pretty suitable to go to the runes. You have to analyze that every single time, where who cares? Just, I mean, once you've done it twice, you know what you're looking for. Just tell me. All right. So here's their stats. Is this all of them? It's most of them. But anywho, so they have a personality. So this affects like whether they're going to steal stuff from you, whether they listen to authority, whether they're going to get ambitious and try to revolt on you. Witty, I don't know what witty does, but all of these actually matter. It tells you what faction they head to. And then you'll notice here that they try to boil it down into strength, intelligence, I believe war. Yeah, it's just war. So that's all your military stuff. Charisma, willpower, and then I believe this is how well they run cities or something, capitalism or something, capitalist. And so it gives you this breakdown. Witty makes them good at mahjong. So it shows you their total experience down here. By the way, this game has a 400-page manual. I watched 15 hours of videos, listened to them, and looked at the parts I needed to look at. There's this guy named Daziati who actually plays this game and Slytherin titles like all the time, as well as the Slytherin channel. But he's the guy that basically taught me how to play this game, and I really think it's cool. You don't need to read the 400-page manual to play. You can literally just get in and start playing, but you're going to start wondering, like, why are my people starving, or why is everything not working? Because I'm going to show you the coolest thing. I have 8 minutes left of this stream. We're gonna do it. But this is every single leader has this screen, but instead of just looking at the damn numbers, you actually get a breakdown of like, okay, they're suitable for XYZ. Oh, capacity. That's what that 3 is. This is basically an estimate of how many points they're going to be able to grow up into. If their capacity is just a single Roman numeral here, then they're going to suck forever. But if it's 3, they're going to be able to grow into any role you put them in. And yeah, so here, like when you're picking someone to be a director of something, I think this is just the overview screen. They might have added this. It looks very nice. When I first played this, I think they changed this menu. But at any rate, you can look at all of those stats and compare it, because on this screen you can basically jump around and start assigning people to all kinds of different things, and you can see where they're at. So generally, like, you're going to need to assign, like, those stacks of units, you're always assigning someone to run that army. What else we got? Alright, so here, you can see that there is a road here. So this is a nice looking world that looks like it's grassland and forests. And you'll notice all these different little like, they're named these little towns, Yezo and stuff. I call them towns. They're like cities. Like, pretend we're like in some, what do you call it? Like Mad Max world. Like, basically running your military into a city lets you take it over. And basically, the interesting thing about this game is there a... we're definitely going to look at this screen in a second. Is there one... In the cities, basically, you don't have full control over the city. You can build your own buildings that mine, manufacture, whatever, and people will work for them. And those are the resources that go directly in your inventory. The city may have other manufacturing that you essentially tax, and then you basically get money. So you can also pay to take over those buildings, and then it's like you built the building then. You don't have to pay the ridiculous cost to build certain things. But you don't just take over the city. The cities are actually autonomous in and of themselves, and you have to keep them happy. Otherwise, they'll revolt on you, depending on, of course, how dangerous the land is and what difficulty settings you have. So here's the really meat and potatoes of the game that I never wonder why Civ doesn't do something like this. Problem unit with low supply. Remember I said it's not just Civ, it's also a war game. And not only does it just make it a war game because it's a hex grid, you actually have to build supply lines. So there's various buildings that basically move supply in and around your place. So it's macro in that all these things on the left are all things that you have to manage. Those are all resources, from water into air in the areas that have that. Oil, obviously, and it shows you at a glance just how much you're making and losing per turn. Generally, if you're losing, it's that they're all being used by factories, so you're not like in the red. It's just you don't have capacity. You're still building something usually. But yeah, so these green things are supply lines, and there's different modes of view on the main screen. And what it's showing you, these little numbers that are very hard to see, but basically showing you how much supply is left per step. There's a building here on this middle one with the 3 skulls, which I think is a revolt or something, or whatever this team... I guess they're all red, so they're on the same team. But as you step away from this supply chain, for this supply building, I should say, like pretend like a supply depot, every step away reduces the available supply. Roads help, and it's connecting every single person. So basically, green means the supply line is A-okay, and as the number gets really low on these outskirts, if your army steps outside of those bounds, they get massive penalties to combat. There's a whole, there's 40 different pluses and minuses to combat. I want to show you a combat screen before we go too. Here's the tech screen. Essentially, the techs are in groups, and whenever you research an entire group, you can start to unlock bonuses for governments and management. Here's your production screen that shows you what's going in and out. If you hover over them, it tells you where they're actually going. You can design, and basically as you discover stuff, somebody has to go... once you have the research, once you know how to build a jet engine, one of your dudes has to go build it. This is how you discover what infantry can turn into. So there's a bazillion units to choose from. And I was hoping to see, this is how crazy combat can get, because you can choose to stack stuff, but there's actually an encircling bonus, just like any war game would normally have. There's zone of control. There's cutting off their supply lines, getting on those supply line routes. You could cut them off. But is there a combat? I want to see a combat window. Let's see if I can find a combat window. 1 second here. See if I can find it in my bookmarks. The game manual is just there, but I want to see if I can find a combat screen. Found a stratagem screen. And by the way, thank you for joining. Because obviously the stream is going to end momentarily. This isn't any good. That's no good. See if I can just find combat. Well, wargamer.com might save us. Oh, this review is really good too. This review is the best 4X war game you're probably not playing. Yep, pretty much. What I'm hoping to see is pictures. Show me the pictures that you guys just showed. All right, so here is what a combat screen looks like. So you'll notice why is it becoming smaller when I click zoom in? Interesting. So it's showing you all the adjacent hexes to what's being attacked. You can choose when you attack what units are actually going to attack. Obviously, having a bunch of artillery and nothing else, you're going to get creamed. If you have, essentially, it actually models the width of an attack. So it's a military thing where if I have 100,000 units and they're all going really, really wide, well, a lot of them aren't going to be doing a lot of shooting, and they're probably all going to get in the way of each other. So it simulates that. And so estimation of offense. So it doesn't actually tell you what the real mods are going to be, but every single one of these pluses and minuses affect combat in some way. You also can choose the type of attack and how suicidal it is, or how regular it is or not. You can like choose an indirect attack with just artillery. And the combat actually plays out over several rounds. That's what I'm trying to convince you of. This game is super deep. Like it's showing you the unit group, infantry, guns, motorized, how many recon. So there's recon points, and basically the more you fight with someone or the more recon that you have, you don't necessarily know when you attack a square what you're getting into. And also if the leader can only handle like so much of an army too, right? So the better they are, the more they can handle. Hopefully there is. I want to show you. Like we've got like 60 seconds, if that. I just want to show you what the combat screen looks like. Of course not. I just want to show you a combat screen. Somebody show me a combat screen. Can't find it. Anywho, so when the combat plays out, oh, here it is. How about this? Will this work? Okay, I got one. This is what the combat screen looks like. So when as the combat goes on, it'll go over round and round and round, and basically each line is a set of different units coming in. It'll show you the progress of every single one of them, show you whether they're hitting or missing, whether they've retreated, routed, died, whatever. It'll show you the recon points, and basically in certain combats, you're shooting at things you can't even see. So I just wanted to show that. It's really, really cool, and so generally combat takes place over several turns. All right, it's time for wrestling. Thanks for joining. Music's over. Have a good night. I'll host you a kiss. Bye bye. play Shadow Empire over Darkest Dungeon, and that's the best.